2023 was an incredible year for horror games. While I've seen many amazing releases from the indie scene who usually carry the genre graciously, the big budget games industry had some noticeably good releases as well. Join me today as I pick my favorite horror games from this year and briefly talk about why I like them so much. Apologies in advance as I have my notes here on the side and I'll be checking and reading them sometimes. Without further ado, starting off this list with a kind of an unusual pick, and I say unusual because I feel like either a lot of people skipped on it or simply forgot its existence because it's been a while since its release. System Shock by Nightdive Studios is the perfect remake of the original title, and it is the best way to experience the hacker's journey in a Citadel station taken over by the psychotic AI named Shodan. Normally, I don't consider remakes for any Game of the Year nominations as they are usually too safe, but System Shock changes the whole thing and it's definitely a game that deserved the remake treatment. I genuinely hope Nightdive will do the same for the sequel System Shock 2, which I found even more terrifying than the original game. System Shock puts you in immersive gameplay situations where you'll need to observe your surroundings, scour for resources, and use those resources tightly to survive in this hellish space station. While Shodan and its mechanical army are a big enough threat, there are also biological dangers you have to face and survive against. It features claustrophobic, tight spaces riddled with all kinds of dangers, puzzles, and creatures. A survival horror fan's beautiful nightmare. Following up, I have another unusual and a pretty unexpected pick. Lethal Company by Zeekers suddenly started popping up all over my social media feed on Twitter, on TikTok, and rapidly spread its influence in mere days. Made by a single developer, Lethal Company is the perfect example of how you can do so much with so little. It's a 4-player co-op horror game taking place in space. It has a simple premise. You are an employee of the company and your task is simple. Land on a moon from the list, find the main building, gather items, go back to your ship and sell them. Of course, while doing all of these, you will have to be mindful of your surroundings because from the very earth you step on to the grotesque creatures stalking you from the shadows, everything is out to get you. And I mean everything is out to murder you in pretty bad ways. It is the perfect co-op horror game to play with a group of friends as it features proximity voice chat and beautifully made character animations. This game will give you the equal amount of horror and fun, and I'm talking about stomach ache levels of laughing kind of fun. Next up, Amnesia Debunker crawled out of the trenches and managed to terrify me in what I could call a claustrophobic nightmare. Having mostly made horror games that leaned more on the run and hide gameplay style, I wasn't expecting Frictional Games to go above and beyond and give us one of the best immersive sims of recent years. As its own developers say, if you think something is possible to do in Amnesia Debunker, then it probably is possible. On surface, Debunker is a pretty short game. After fighting for your life in the middle of a literal war zone, you're now trapped inside a bunker with a creature that is out to eat you alive. You have to carefully explore your surroundings, search for resources, and use the environment to best this creature to survive and escape. Where the game actually shines though is its replayability. It is fair to call Debunker an immersive sim, and as most of those games go, there are multiple ways to get out of certain deadly situations, and I mean a lot of them. They weren't lying when they said you can probably do everything in this game. This gives Amnesia Debunker a strong sense of replayability and speedrun potential. But even if the game didn't have any of it, and it was still a one-shot experience, it would still get this place in this video. I still dread my inevitable future replay through of Debunker. That game was terrifying. Incredible sound design, chilling me to my bones, and unpredictable creature that could strike from literally anywhere, tight corners, tight resources, and tight atmosphere. It was simply beautiful. Another one of my highlights this year was definitely Lunacid by Kira, who you might remember as the developer behind Lost in Vivo. Lunacid is the perfect throwback to some of From Software's older classics such as Shadow Tower and King's Field. It puts you in difficult situations in a world home to different environments and grotesque mythical creatures. While it's not a horror game in a traditional sense, Lunacid's horror works more in an existential dread way. It's the same kind of dread you can feel when climbing down into the Ash Lake in the original Dark Souls. Just an overall sense of mystery, uneasiness, and the fear of unknown lingering above your head. This next game is probably not a surprise to many, but damn is it well deserved. I'm talking about Alan Wake 2, of course, Remedy's ambitious sequel that we've been waiting for a very long time. It gives me great pleasure to say that the wait was worth it. Taking everything they've done ever since the original Max Payne and combining all the small intricate details from Quantum Break, Control and Alan Wake, Remedy gives a masterclass lesson on meta-narrative. And on top of telling a dreadful story in a beautiful way, Alan Wake 2 was arguably one of the best looking games of 2023 as well. Not only in terms of graphical fidelity, but also overall art direction. From the unforgettable We Sing chapter to the dreadful Valhalla nursing home, every corner of the Alan Wake 2 puzzle left me with marvel. As I gazed into its dark chapter ending screens and listened to the expertly composed songs, I was always left asking and pushing for more. Truly a masterpiece. I can't wait to see what Remedy is going to do in the now upcoming Control sequel. Those were some of my horror games from 2023, but of course it doesn't end there. 2023 was a wild year for me, and even though I wanted to play more horror games, my backlog just kept on growing and growing and growing, forcing me to postpone some of my playthroughs. Dredge, World of Horror, Homebody, Slay the Princess, Outlast Trials, and many more that I can't even remember right now. I'm not endorsing this game like how I endorse the other games because I played them. I haven't played these, but these are in my backlog and I kinda know that they're good, like they're guaranteed to be good. If you're looking for more horror game suggestions, I'd say look at them and see if you like them, maybe play them. I'm just saying, like, I'm not endorsing them, okay? Of course, on top of all of these games, I played tons of horror game demos, which I made sure to highlight on my Twitter profile at Horror Visuals. Make sure to visit it for more horror game recommendations, as I'm always on the lookout to curate more horror games and demos. This year, I'm also one of the juries for the Horror Game Awards. It's an award show organized by people who love and cherish horror games. It's going to take place on December 16th. I will leave the links in the description below for you to check out. Make sure to tune in to have a glimpse into this beautiful year of horror games. As I slowly end this video, I would like to give thanks to those who supported my efforts in Horror Visuals here on YouTube or Twitch or its original source, Twitter. I will leave all of those links below. I have exciting plans for the future of Horror Visuals, and I hope you will be there to witness all of them. I will talk about them pretty soon. I hope pretty soon. And with that, I'm going to stop stalling and end the video here. What a great time to be a horror fan. Honestly, it's a great time to be a horror fan. Horror games are doing amazing. Indie horror developers are pushing out incredible horror games. Like, look at Lethal Company. What a beautiful, simple game, and it's amazing. It's so fun. It gives me a sense of feeling that I haven't had from a video game for a very long time. Me and my buddies who played the game, we were having incredible amounts of fun. If you're looking for people to play with, come to actually the Horror Visuals Discord server. I'm gonna leave a link to that below as well. We play sometimes. But yeah, like it's been an incredible year for horror. I wish the remakes were not as safe. It's obvious that I'm talking about Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space, even though they were incredible games, both of them, beautiful made games. They were too safe, and it didn't feel right to put them in my Game of the Year list. Obviously, they were some of the best games that I played this year, but I didn't feel right putting them in the list. But you know that I like them, right? Please don't hate me. With that, yeah, it's time to end the video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.